Hey guys, Viggoman here and welcome back to another video from Osterham. Today we are starting on the castle. The way we're gonna do this is to break it into sections to give you guys some time to really take in what's happening here. So we're gonna start off by building the first part of the fence, then move over to like the secondary part, and then finally we'll move over to the keep. And we'll take some small pit stops along the way to just take a look at what we have built so far. If you want to hop on and take a look at this place yourself, there's an IP down below for my own micro server, and I will leave a link to my previous video where I talked about the new server that's set up with Osterham and all the other projects. If you liked today's video and if you like the building, make sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't done it, please consider subscribing. It's the best way of showing support to what I do. Let's take a quick look at what we have built so far, which is mainly the first line of the fence. We have a gatehouse here with a drawbridge, and then we have one of these almost like barbicans or outer yards, which will be used to defend. So we have like we can defend outwards towards the open landscape, but then we can also defend like the inside here from the towers and the battlements shooting down here, and also from the top. So like if they ever breach the first gate, we can attack them from within as well. From here we can also go into another like second smaller courtyard, like a small area where it would be pretty bad to be in here. We have people who can shoot down on you from everywhere in here before we get into the final part. This is all connected with this tower here, which also houses the Magister on the top, but also like access to all the different levels of defense here. Now let's move on with the time lapse and build what's within here before we then move over to the keep itself. It's time for another pit stop, and we're going to take a look at the secondary part, and by that I mean what's kind of within the walls themselves after the first gatehouse and all that sort of defense. There's still a lot of defense happening here, and there's also like a final gatehouse before we get to the keep and the inner parts of the castle. But let's take a quick look at what we have built so far. And yeah, I just want to mention that I'm going to do a detailed tour of the entire castle coming up. So don't be afraid if you feel like we missed stuff. This is going to be like a quick overview so you guys can kind of follow along and hang on to what's really happening here. So the first thing I built within the secondary section is this building here, and I love this one so much. This is the barracks. It's a big brick building. And if you can't tell by now, I really want to use bricks for this castle here. Bricks is such a cool texture, and I wanted it to stand out from the city, but not stand out too much. And we've used a lot of brick, but not like at this scale here. So yeah, here we have the barracks built entirely out of bricks, and it looks awesome. I'm trying to go for a little bit of a different brick gradient, you might see. So we have more of a redder, or like, yeah, darker red kind of color, but still kind of using some of the similar ones at the top, so kind of like a gradient from dark red to the orange red kind of. Looks kind of cool. I like it. So basically this is the barracks. We have whatever you kind of need. We have like storage for like an armory over here, like that, and weapons and things like that. And there's also a big cellar down below here for everything you need. And then up above we have like bedrooms. We have a feast hall for the soldiers in here, looking pretty cool. And from here we can kind of get onto the battlements around here, which looks down at the first gatehouse, defending like this first bailey, I guess you could call it. And from here we can get into the the towers on either side here, like that. Pretty cool. Yeah, go back into the building here. Again, going really quick now. I don't want this video here to be super long, and there will be a detailed tour coming up. In here we have like we have bedrooms for the soldiers. I think this over here is, oh yeah, okay, this is just not a bedroom. Up above we have like the Lord Commander's bedroom, which is up here, and I think this one is, yeah, so this is bigger. It has its own fireplace, a bigger bed, and it looks pretty cool. And yeah, you can just continue up. We have like storage up here and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, let's move on with the showcase. This is where we go down like that, and we'll just take the shortcut out of the balcony. Below here we have a blacksmith. So down here, this is where all the weapons and tools and stuff is being made. Looking pretty cool. Following along here, or actually, yeah, let me show you this. We have some training dummies you can kind of, yeah, test your skills on like that. And over here we also have an archer range, whatever you want to call it. Over here, shooting at these like targets over there. Alongside here. Here we have stables for horses, so that's kind of cool. And next to that we have this white building here. This is a part of the defense, but also a house for some of the servants. So we come in here, we have a little kitchen area, and then in here we have some beds for some of the servants like that. So that's kind of cool. Let's close that. And we also finished off the walls wrapping around this area here with these turrets on, and on top of them we have these massive crossbows, and I love the design of these ones. The idea is that this is like the main passageway, especially for like people coming from other kingdoms. So they have to kind of pass through here if they want to attack the city by boat. They have to kind of go through this pass. So this massive crossbows will kind of be used here to shoot. This is before cannons, so this is kind of the equivalent, like massive arrows to sink ships that are sailing through this strait here. So we have two of them, like that, on top of these turrets. And then we have this building here, one of my favorite ones so far on the castle. I have a feeling that the keep will be my favorite, but this section here is lovely. This is the final gatehouse, which takes you into like the inner parts, the inner bailey. So there's this ramp going up here. We have a gate. There's also another gate here, which takes us out to this garden here. This will be where we have the temple, and it's going to be like a lush, wonderful garden for the king. So that's going to be cool. And this, yeah, a little tower here just to look out and all that sort of stuff. So that's a really cool building here, and this will, as I said, lead into like this section here, which is where we access the keep and all that sort of stuff. Well, let's do some more building. Let's start up a time lapse, and I'll be back with the keep in just a little bit. And just like that, the keep and the building surrounding it is completed. Firstly, I just gotta say that I'm so happy with the way this castle here turned out. I love the color scheme, the way it stands out from the rest of the city, and the shape of it, and especially these like spiky towers we have all over this place, making it look like a proper castle in a way. And let's give you guys a quick breakthrough of what we have here, and then as I mentioned, there's going to be a detailed tour coming up sometime soon where I take a look at every single room and show you all the small nitty-gritty details that you might want to see. But what we've done in the latest time lapse now is, as you can see, the keep itself, like the biggest, tallest, most important part of the castle in the center here. We have also added a couple of smaller buildings adjacent to that, like one here in the back, and then of course this big thing here, and then some more like diagonal buildings over here. And I think the way these diagonal buildings kind of helps with making the castle look more organic in a way. So really happy with that. And then over here we have the Temple Garden, which is the name I'm going for, which is the private chapel or temple for the royal family here, and it's all like situated in this wonderful lush garden here, and it's kind of like a small separate area where there's a gatehouse, so if somehow people breach these walls, they're not inside the castle or not especially inside like the most important parts. So it's a small separated part of the battlements, but it's a cool little garden. Anyway, let's take a quick look at what we have in here, shall we? So I think I'm going to start with the keep itself, because that's like the biggest thing here, and the interior are most interesting here. So when you first come in, we have a big hallway. Look at this grand entrance here. It's built over 2 floors. We have a big staircase bringing us up, and from here we can get to different parts. We have the kitchen, we have the cellars and basements and all that sort of stuff. Again, I'm going to take a closer look at that eventually. And if we come up here, I love this. We have this walkway which kind of goes around the entrance here, looking down on it, and then straight ahead we come into the feast hall. It's a big feast hall. There's 2 fireplaces here, really cozy, and it's built over 2 floors. So that's something I'm doing with a lot of the different or bigger rooms in this castle here, is that they're built over several floors to create a unique layout, so it's not just one single floor, just like a flat boring floor. All the floors have like more organic shapes and heights and stuff. So yeah, this is the feast hall, looking pretty awesome. Up here, some hallways, all that sort of stuff. Actually, I'm going to show you the staircase as well before, and then we'll move over to the other big rooms. So the castle is kind of tucked away behind here. It wraps around and you get into this marmor hallway. We have rooms on all the different sides here. There's a room in here as well. Again, going to take a closer look at everything. But from here we can get on top of like some viewing platforms of the feast hall. So imagine there's a massive feast. You could even have tables up here and everyone would be able to see the king. So it's a really cool thing. Around here we have staircases. These are symmetrical, so we have one on either side of the castle, and they take you up to here, into another hallway, and from here you can get into the ballroom. So this is where they have all the parties and stuff. It's a big open room and a fireplace. And again, this is also built over a couple of floors. Really cool thing. Big vaulted ceiling and massive windows, alright? And you can fly up here. You get to some more stuff around here. From here, we get into the Lord's Chamber. So quick look at that. It's a big chamber, big fireplace. It's built over 2 floors as well, with like this mezzanine thing on the top. And from here we can get to... there we go. Out to the battlements here, but it's also used as like a massive balcony for the Lord himself. So yeah, I'm gonna take you closer through all the interiors later on, because there's so many rooms in this house here, or castle, I guess. I think there's 7 floors on this thing, so yeah, you could imagine. Apart from that, we have this smaller diagonal building over here. This is a bakery. So this is where most of the bread and stuff is being made. Just a small little thing. It's connected to the kitchen, which is over here. Like that. And up above we have sleeping quarters for a couple of the servants and the bakers and yeah, a lot of different people. And then we have this thing here, where we have a couple of diagonals, where we have a workshop area in the back here, like that. And from here we get into like a lot of storage. We need that for a castle, that's important. Some hallways, and this leads up to a small, like just like a hallway or a hall, I guess, which it doesn't really serve a purpose other than just like giving you more space, and it takes you from like the keep, which is over here. Yeah, you recognize this, I bet. And around here, and it takes you up to like I'm calling it a solar. It's probably not a solar. It's all the way up here, but it's like the family's living room thing. There's a big fireplace. They have an amazing view from here, and it's just like an everyday chilling lounge room thing. All right, so that's really cool. Yeah, let's go back out. We have the temple here. Let's take a quick look at the interior as well. Look at that. Very colorful, as we do with most of these temples in Gelia. We have a lot of colors. And then one more thing I want to show you, it's the crypts, which is situated outside. Due to Game of Thrones, I don't want to have the crypts inside the keep, just in case somehow the dead people rises. So just for the fun of it, I put the entrance to the crypts outside. It's a little staircase, takes you down, and here we have the crypts. It's looking really, really cool, big vaulted ceilings and arches, and I think it looks awesome. And with that quick run through of the buildings and rooms and all that sort of stuff, I think today's episode from the castle is done. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed. If so, make sure to smack that like button, and if you haven't done it already, make sure to subscribe. It's been Viggoman, and I'm out.